Hey, it's the Midnight Raven. I've just come back from my counselling session. How's your day going? Thought I'd do a little update video. It's been a while. So a lot's happened in the last 2 weeks, maybe. I think it's been 2 weeks since I've done an update. I can't remember. 1 week rolls into the other. So let's do a little update, shall we? So, update first. Nan was buried last Monday. So that's technically, if you want to call it, a load off my mind. Nan is buried in Wyndham Cemetery. It was a beautiful funeral, as beautiful as a funeral can be. I was dressed in purple and blue because she wanted a colourful funeral, no black allowed. So we were all dressed in colour, which was great. I was dressed in purple, so I did her well. I saw my granddad, who I haven't seen in many years. It was a solemn day, but it was okay. I mean, it's a funeral. We went to the wake afterwards, where we had finger food, we had a chat. He got to meet his great grandchild Willow, so that was nice. My mum got to see Willow for the first time. Willow is now 6 months, but Mum's obviously had a lot on with Nan being um, sick and unwell, and then Nan dying. So it's been hard on Mum trying to see Willow because she's been a bit preoccupied. But she got me to meet her grandchild, which is great. And I got to see my family and extended family for a bit, for a few hours. So that was nice, and it was nice just just a nice day all round. The weather was nice. It was just kind of pleasant. Um, so that chapter has now closed. Obviously, the bereavement counselling is still coming for the other bereavements in my life that I have had. So bereavement counselling will still happen, but it has to happen a couple of months after Nan died. Apparently, you have to wait 2 months, so I've got some time before I'm allowed that. Other news. Let's do medication and then we'll do counseling. So, medication, I am taking 20,000 units of vitamin D every Monday for 16 weeks. This is my second time of taking it now. And then after 16 weeks of taking 20,000 units on a Monday, I then take 1,000 every day for 2 years. That's how low my vitamin D is. It was basically non existent. Like, gone. I also have to have a blood test in 2 months' time to check my levels. I can't think they need to up them because 20,000 units of vitamin D makes me feel quite sick. The first one was horrendous. I felt incredibly ill. Today's one, I took it maybe an hour ago. I feel all right. I feel a bit like sickly. I had eaten beforehand, which apparently takes the edge off. But once your body gets used to it, it should be just simple. But yeah, 16 weeks on this, and then 1,000 units every day for 2 years afterwards. It sounds like a lot. It is. Now, I was prescribed mirtazapine, which is an antidepressant with an insomnia. I've stopped taking it. I've spoken to my doctor and my counselor, and after taking it for 5 days, it's not for me. It made me feel drowsy, sick. I felt disorientated. I felt stoned, like the stoned I've ever been. And I've took illegal drugs, and this didn't make me feel that bad. The illegal drugs were easier to take than this. This was so debilitating that when I was talking to my son, I apparently looked like I was swaying, and I looked stoned, I looked glazed over, I looked tired, I felt sick. Everything hurt. It wasn't for me. If I want to try something else, they're going to look at a different one, possibly a higher dosage. Apparently, the The 15 ml one makes you really tired and drowsy. The higher the dose, it should theoretically not make me as drowsy. But we're going to take a break for a week or two and then reassess, putting a different drug into me to give this one time to get out of the body, because it can take 72 hours apparently to like totally go. So we're going to leave it 2 weeks and then we're going to reassess uh, if I want to take any more medication. Um, so the counseling went well. The issues with work have kind of subsided. We have a new manager now, who is managing Swaffham and Dereham, two new staff, which is good. They're also new to the game. I'm not currently going back to work yet. My counselor and my doctor are suggesting that I don't go straight back to work. Like, I've just buried Nan. I'm on new medication and everything. They'd want me to wait a couple of weeks because with the vitamin D deficiency, I get black spots and I get dizzy spells currently. And until that is monitored a bit more and we've got a bit more consistency, they don't want to put me in a warehouse or doing deliveries or anything like that. So we're taking a 2 week, hopefully my doctor's going to authorize another 2 weeks to give me a chance to get 2 more weeks of vitamin D in me. By that time, it will nearly be time to have another blood test. I think it's 2 more weeks after that, then I'd have another blood test, and then we would reassess my levels. So I'd have another 2 weeks off. Then I'd work with my boss the week after to decide when to go back. And then probably the week after would be a blood test, and I'd go back to work. And then I'd get my results, and then we would alter my meds. I've spoken to work and I'm only looking to do 3 days a week to start with. I don't want to do what I used to do where I was doing 5, 6, 7 days in a row. It's too much. It's way too much for me. I am not in the headspace to do that kind of amount right now. Um, but yeah, we're looking at 2 more weeks off, get my paperwork sorted for PIP, get my medication a bit more into me, um, have another counselling session at the end of February in 2 weeks. So I'd have my sick note extended for 2 weeks. I'd have another counselling session in 2 weeks. And then hopefully the paperwork would have been sent off for PIP so I can relax. I could then, in a couple of weeks' time, look to bereavement counselling, get that in order. And then I can just get back to normal, or what normal is normal for other people, going to work 9 till 5 and being a bit more consistent in my life, because everything's a bit up and down at the minute. I've got appointments all over the place. I'm at the job centre tomorrow. I got an appointment on Thursday. I got an appointment next Wednesday. I got an appointment the Monday after. I've still got to book a blood test in a couple of weeks, bereavement counselling in a couple of weeks. So I've still got a lot going on, um, which is why they've deciding not to send me back quite yet, because there's still a lot of ups and downs, and they don't want me to go back to work still feeling a bit woozy from my medication and that, not being of sound mind currently, having just buried my nan, and not to send me back, because if I go back I want to be 100% myself. If I'm going to go back to work, I want to give it my full all, wackadoodle, whole hog, and I'm not quite there yet. So a couple of more weeks, the medication gets a chance to acclimatize. I get a chance to feel a bit more mellow instead of stressed, because paperwork will be done. I'll have another counselling session, and everything will fall into place. Um, if you want to know any more details about my mental health, counselling, and all that, you can comment down below and I'll give you as much information as I can. My counselling is all funded. I don't pay for it. I also have a work mediator who's going to work with work to assess my contract, my boundaries, what I can and can't do, and what I get out of going back, and when I can go back. He's going to work with me on that. And I get a work mediator for a year, and that's also funded, to help with me integrating back into work, making sure things are fine, I'm not being overworked. They know what I can and can't do because of certain things that I can't discuss on here. Um, but things are in place. Things will be worked out before I go back, so we each know where we stand. Um, and then so that's my medication, my counselor, my work mediator, all well and good. The things are looking up. They are looking up. My skin isn't looking so good, but I do have a night cream now to use. I've got a night moisturizer cream because I have eczema and my skin is pretty dry anyway. Because of the vitamin D, it's drying out my skin. And I've got a night cream that's going to rehydrate during the night as a sleep. So it should rehydrate my skin, apparently. We'll give you an update on how that works. They said that I'll start to see like little bits of improvement in like a week, but to be like fully a full improvement should take up to a month because of the soreness and the redness, and because I have eczema as well, my skin's a little bit drier than normal. So I'll let you know how that night cream works. It's only a cheap night cream. I think it was from Boots or Superdrug. Can't remember which one I bought it from. It was advice for my eczema and stuff, so, and the vitamin D, so they knew what to give me. And I actually paid for that one myself. That wasn't prescribed. That's my own choice to have something for my skin. But it was advice to try and use a night cream because apparently during the day you sweat and everything, and it's better to use the cream at night to moisturize your skin. So we'll give it a couple of weeks and I'll give you an update the next time I do a video and see whether you can notice an improvement. Apparently, I can also use it on my nose, which is drying out as well. I don't know if you can see. Got little dry patches. I could use it on my nose, use it on my face. She said I could use it under my bags. Might rehydrate my eye area because my eyes get really dry from having glasses. You do find your eyes get a bit drier with having glasses. So just rehydrate my skin on my face. And I think she said I could use it under my chin towards my neck as well, which also, I don't know if you can hear that, gets a bit dry. But that's all with my eczema as well. So lucky me. My hair falling out should subside with the vitamin D, or possibly looking at a new shampoo. I've used the same shampoo for quite a while um, because of having eczema and my scalp and stuff. She said maybe try a different shampoo. Maybe it's the consistent using of the same shampoo, although, you know, my skin does get quite annoyed when I change stuff. It likes a bit of consistency. She said try maybe a moisturizing shampoo that you can get and like moisture back into the scalp so maybe it wouldn't be so irritated by a change. So I'm going to look at that as well. Uh, they're nothing but helpful. Nothing but helpful. Also, the thinning should subside and the breakage should subside once the vitamin D's plumped it back up. Also, you can see my lips are drying out, which I have a don't know if it's in my bag. I did have it in my bag. I have one of these. I have a pretty moisturizing lip balm to use to rehydrate the girls. I can show you. Just a little lip balm, and just ever so often. Not too much, she said, but just enough just to moisturize them because they're not overly dry. Um, but they are starting to crack slightly. So she said just a couple of times a day, just when they feel a bit tight, just to re-moisturize them. Um, it's when I lick my lips. Sometimes I sit there and I go, and you moisturize them, it can actually make it worse. So she said just to put some lip balm on and try not to. Easier said than done, huh? Um, what else? I think that's it. So I've updated you on my nan being buried, my counselling, going back to work. Obviously, blood tests will be in due course to find out what's going on with my liver. which is kind of concerning, but it is possible it's just the vitamin D deficiency. So once that's upped the game, hopefully we should see some improvement, unless it's something else. They're not quite sure. Um, it was some enzyme or something in my blood that peaked as a problem. So they're just going to retest, specifically looking towards my liver as well as my deficiencies. So it'll be an all round blood test again, but they're the two things they're like zoning in on to find out whether the vitamin D is causing the problem with my liver or whether there's something else doing it to my liver. Nice, huh? Just when I thought I couldn't have more problems. Because I kind of knew I had a deficiency of something. We were assuming it was vitamin C and D12 because of the spots and the dizziness, but no, it's vitamin D as well as B12, C, and some zinc. So I got a cocktail of drugs, but we're concentrating on the D. Obviously, I'm going to try and eat better, eat more. I really don't get hungry. I've been criticized for only eating when I'm hungry instead of eating like 3 structured meals. But I just don't feel hungry in the mornings, and I don't really eat unless I need to. Oh, eating disorders are never good. They haunt you forever, and even when you think you're cured, you're still not. So if you want to know anything about my counseling, apparently my eating disorder that is continuing to ruin my life, um, my deficiency, or anything, any questions you have, or any updates I haven't given you. The reason I do these, it's a mental health diary for myself. It lets you know I'm okay because I care about my subscribers. Whether people think it's suitable for YouTube, I don't see why mental health and that should be stigmatized or a taboo subject. People struggle. It's a thing. It's an everyday thing now. Wake up in the morning, you don't want to get out of bed. People struggle. It's hard. The cost of living, the COVID, it all has a mental health effect on people. That the mental health problems have rocketed through COVID from being isolated or being trapped indoors. Some people have lost their jobs. Some people have long COVID. Some people haven't been able to go back to work because they found it too debilitating after being off work for nearly 2 years, especially if you had a job where you couldn't work and had to work from home, or and then you find it a struggle to go back to the office and socialize. There's lots of different things: anxiety, panic attacks, depression. It's all had a knock on effect. The cost of living, being able to afford, working ridiculous hours, stressing yourself out, none of it is healthy. And you do get to a breaking point. At some point, you do get to a breaking point, and I reached mine. But if you'd like to support the channel, give it a big thumbs up. If you want to support the channel financially, a PayPal is the best way to go, although a super chat and a super thanks, or become a member. Join the little Raven crew. It's not all just doom and gloom as my motto is, but at the minute we're a little bit wavering through the grey parts of doom and gloom because there is a positiveness at the end of it. I will go back to work and I will be fine. It's just that things take a little bit of time. But I'm fine. I went out for my sister's birthday over the weekend. You saw my hotel review. I stayed away for one night. It's what I needed. I spent some time with my sisters. We had a ball. We had a couple of drinks. It was fun. And now it's back to mundane, filling out forms and doctor's appointments. Oh, the joys of being off work. So I'm going to go rest. I need to eat because I have took my vitamin D. I feel a bit sick, so I'm going to make myself some toast or something and take away the sickness a bit more. And yeah, so have a good day. I hope everybody's doing all right. Let me know how you're doing in the comments. Don't just ask me how I am. How are you doing? And I'll see you very soon. Take care and thanks for watching. Love you all. Bye, guys.